This is a space of discovery. This is a space of remembrance. Join A.L. Garris and welcome to this space.
So what is spiritual awakening? What does it mean? What does it look like? How does it happen? Spiritual awakening, a lot of times people will say, it's somehow it's got to be religious because the word spiritual, I guess. But here's the really cool thought that we could allow, right? That we could let into the conversation. And that is that spiritual awakening can be seen as the way in which the individual realizes that it's more than it thought it was. So the more could be an increment more, and the more could be vastly more, but any amount of change in understanding of who you are, why you are, is an awakening to some degree of your being. And as the being awakens, the being is realizing and finding its connection to itself as the divine. You do not awaken human consciousness without awakening, strengthening, reconnecting, experiencing the fact, the reality that there is a divinity within you. There is a divinity that you are never separate from. So spiritual awakening is the reconnection to that divinity. It is the reconnection and the remembrance of that divinity. And then the process of spiritual awakening, like how it lands in your life and what you do with it, how you implement, or how you change, how you engage life from this new awareness of yourself. The process of that moves your energy. It moves and shifts your body and your being accordingly. It's so that you can expand, you can awaken. So what do I mean by this? So your body, your physical body, your cells, your DNA, the way your body is biologically doing what it's doing for you to be a human being is in that makeup of you is a designed system that is there to process that energy that of you that is expanding as you are awakening. Because the awakening of you is the remembrance of spaces of yourself that you had either forgotten or not given focus to, and now you are remembering and you are giving focus to. And because of that, there is an increase in your energy. So there's an increase in your vibration. Increase is not the perfect word, but let's just allow. The way in which you flow. So everybody here has an energy system, energy body inside their human vessel, and you all have a field of energy around your body. And all of this is very scientifically documented. It's not like woo-woo, it's reality. And I think everybody's pretty good with that by now. So when you awaken to another understanding of yourself, and it can be, like I said, very incremental or very vast, like a big understanding that you land, or it can be just a simplistic aha moment. But if it's any change at all in the way you see yourself and the world around you, your energy field, your consciousness, your vibration, your frequency changes. And your body is masterfully designed to process those changes. Spiritual awakening is natural. It's what consciousness does. If consciousness did not spiritually awaken, it would be bored out of its beingness. Think about it for just a minute. I mean, like, we're talking about eternal consciousness, consciousness that never dies. It can leave a format, so a format of it can end. But the soul, the energy, the vibration, the frequency, the consciousness itself never dies. So it is just eternally venturing onward, if you will, exploring further, creating more spaces of exploration for itself, and designing masterfully each exploration space to facilitate a new way, a new reality system to work with, to allow it to remember more of who it is from a different vantage point. And I know this is so trippy cool, right? But think about it this way for a second. You know, some people, they look at the world around us right now and they might be like very happy with what they're seeing because they see it as we're purging out the densities of our humanity and we're allowing a clearing of them and we're shifting into a new way of being. And so this is like the tower card in the tarot where older systems are falling apart and breaking away. And so the newer system that's in alignment with the higher human can rise and be implemented. And then some people, they could look at that same scenario that is playing out, and their interpretation would be it's all falling apart, it's heavy, it's dense, it's ugly, I'm afraid. And, they're both looking at the same world, but they're looking at it from two different perspectives or two different vantage points through two different sets of belief structures of what they're registering. And so they're going to experience very differently because they're registering from very different spaces. But they're both being given the opportunity equally to explore, register themselves and the world around them in a new way and expand, awaken, shift individually. It never works if it's put into motion because it's done from a manipulative or control factor type of space where it's like, I have to save the world. So, I have to do this, that, or the other. That will lead the individual down the path, a beautiful path of the availability to realize it has to be self-love first. It has to be purely for the filling of thine own cup before it can ever be poured out to anybody else to ever get a drink. And that's okay. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the realities created by consciousness itself in order to explore itself. So sometimes when the viewpoint of the individual can become fearful or frustrated or sorrowful or whatever that individual space of consciousness is feeling, whatever that individual person is feeling, if they can remember, if they can allow themselves to reset themselves, redirect themselves to the remembrance of, this is a created field for the exploration of consciousness to find itself in a new way. And it may go down some roads that have some really big potholes or dangerous cliffs or whatever those roads hold. But that is how consciousness, the divine prime consciousness, decided it would be beneficial to lay it out and to allow the space a certain amount of free will and movement in order for the awakening to be available to itself at a new level. It's got to mix it up. I hope this is conveying correctly because it's really rich. It's really good. If you can land this, this is very, very helpful for navigating what you may be seeing around you. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it doesn't matter. If you can allow yourself to remember They're all creative points of reference for exploration. And at the end of the day, you're eternal and this is temporal. So yeah, gain whatever wisdom you can get, expand and explore the depths of what love is and what peace is and what kindness is and freedom is, and be available to yourself and to the way you view yourself, the way you view yourself in connection with the world around you, the way you view the world around you. Be available to all of that, being given the opportunity to change and shift its understandings of itself and the world around it. If it's etched in stone, it's a cycled program that is going to continue to play until you decide to not play it anymore. So wanting it to change, not liking what you see is fine, but the change will not come until you change how you look at it. What you see will not be anything different or anything new until something is different or new in you. That's where spiritual awakening comes in. And all of a sudden, the way we view the world, the way we see ourselves, the way we understand it all, it starts to open up. And we start to understand ourselves differently. And we start to understand the world around us differently. And our energy changes because everything is energy. Every thought, every word, every feeling, every experience, every memory, it's all energy. Pieces and flow states of energy, and they weave together and create fields of reality. And so as we're having our own field of reality, and you have yours and I have mine, we might have fields that are very similar because we resonate with one another, and we might have fields that are very different, but we happen to really resonate enough to still stay in connection with each other. That field that you're experiencing is your designed reality point.
Yes.
And it is exactly what it needs to be right now. Mine is exactly what I need it to be right now for me to understand myself and the world around me at a new level. That is all energy. And so when that happens, when that new understanding lands, when that new understanding shows up and it's engaged by us, our energy changes because now that new level of consciousness, that new flow, energy flow is present. And so our energy changes. Your body's designed to process your energy. Now, there's a lot of things out there that make this, varied for everyone. At the end of the day, your belief structure is your PowerPoint. So if you do not like the way you're processing your spiritual awakening, what do you believe about spiritual awakening process? Be very, very honest with yourself. Do you believe it's hard? Do you believe it can kick you in the butt? Do you believe that there's, ascension symptoms? Do you believe that if you're an energy sensitive, you're always going to be energy sensitive? And if you say yes, then there's nothing wrong with that, but it's going to come with a reality line that matches it. And here's the thing, you don't have to change the reality line. I'm not judging energy sensitives. This is what I do for a living. I assist energy sensitives. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm here, if not the reason. I heard in my being many years ago that I hold grounding frequencies and that humanity was going through the ascension process and they were going to need the grounding frequencies to assist their bodies and their beings. That's what I offer. It's inside my work. So I am not judging people who need to ground and people who have hard time grounding. That's a key part of who I work with. But what I am saying is holding an alignment inside of your being that has an availability to shift, even incrementally, to where it's not so intense, it's not so extreme every single time the energies are big for whatever reason. Holding the availability that it can be a healing process, a space that you can experience differently, and it's not etched in stone that it'll always be this way to the day you leave this form. Holding that availability is what offers that availability the opportunity to come in. If you don't have any available space for it, if it's like not on your radar in any way, shape, or form, then it can't show up. But if you give it the opportunity, if you give it hold an intention that, hey, I'm not saying, like if this is where you're coming from, if you're like, hey, I'm not saying that I identify as an energy sensitive or an empath or a seer or a medium who feels every bit of energy so detrimentally that it's so intense that I can hardly take it. I'm not saying I'm going to be that for the rest of my life. I am acknowledging and validating and confirming that I understand where my body is right now, and I understand where my being is right now, and I understand where my consciousness is right now. But yes, I also know that I am available to heal. I am available to be well. I am available. I am well. Making space for that gives that the opportunity to come in. There are people who will want to own that and go out that that's who they are, that's who they were, they'll never be anything else in this lifetime. And that's okay too. There's no judgment on this. But for those who are looking for assistance on navigating ascension and navigating spiritual awakening, this information is what could be helpful. So spiritual awakening is the assimilation of more understanding of yourself within your now. It will affect your reality because your reality will always be that which is in direct resonant and alignment with the way you believe about you. So as you understand yourself to be more than what you have experienced in the past, then moving forward, your now will be more as well. It will reflect accordingly. You can see more peace in your life. You can see more love and grace and mercy and kindness and space to be you. Spiritual awakening is about healing fear. You do not spiritually awaken and shift into a new level of consciousness if you do not release some type of fear or heal some type of fear. I healed a ton of fear. Am I done? I don't think so. I think we're always expanding. We're always healing. We're always clearing. And that's not a program that says, I'm not well. That's a program that says, I'm vast. Does that make sense to you? Yes. So healing fear is a part of spiritual awakening. The fear cannot be healed if it doesn't come up to be seen. So sometimes people will say, I started to listen to this teacher, or I started to watch these videos about the expansion of consciousness, or I started to learn about energy healing, or whatever it is, and they'll say, and then I had a nightmare. So I'm thinking that this is like a warning sign that I'm going down the wrong path because I had a nightmare, because I got scared. It could also be you bringing a fear up to you to be seen by you so you can heal it, because you're shifting into a new level of yourself. And in order to shift, you can't take that fear with you. You can't move on if you're carrying that fear, because fear is a vibration, everything's energy. And to shift, spiritually awaken, and move into a new level of yourself, fear must heal. Yes. And there's all kinds of fears, fear of not being enough, fear of demons, fear of lack, fear of thunderstorms, fear of aliens, fear of entities, fear of being alone. I mean, there's so many things people can fear. And fear is fear. Some fears may be somewhat easier to navigate than others. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you want to offer yourself the most assistance through the ascension process, through the spiritual awakening journey you may be on, at the end of the day, if you will realize and allow yourself to come from the belief that you are the one creating the experience that has the fear in it, you designed that dream, you designed that nightmare, you designed that sleep paralysis, you designed that whatever it is that you're having that fearful space with, you made it so that you could see the fear, find the fear, and heal the fear. Nobody's doing it to you. It's all you.
Yes.
And I've walked down some really big, scary roads myself. I had a really big issue with demons and fearing that space of teachings. And it took me 40 some years of my life to wake up and then realize I didn't have to run that program. I didn't have to have those belief structures, and that I could heal them. And once I started healing them, or being available to heal them, they showed up like never before, because I was giving myself the opportunity to heal them. So yes, in the very beginning, I thought I was having the nightmares and having sleep paralysis and having really weird out-of-body experiences because I was connecting in with something that was wrong or bad, all the things you tell yourself. And I had to make the decision on whether I was going to rerun that belief structure and stay where I was in that fear and in that space of consciousness and in that reality in my outer world that I had created that was a reflection of me, or if I was going to walk through those fears and say, nope, that's not true. There's got to be more here. I am the designer and aligner. I set this all up. Why did I do it? Let me confront it. Let me heal it. Let me shift it. And that's what I decided to do. And everything in my life shifted into an extremely positive alignment because I chose a positive alignment. Because I healed belief structures that had separated me out and that had made me feel like I wasn't enough and I needed something to save me. I had healed that by stepping through those fears and saying, I am enough. I am surrounded by light. And I chose to engage these higher spaces of my consciousness and heal these lower spaces of my consciousness. And I experienced spiritual awakening. And my life experienced spiritual awakening. And my body experienced spiritual awakening. And spaces of sensitivity that I had shifted and healed. Spaces of dis-ease that I had shifted and healed.
Yes.
As I shifted and healed my mindsets, my belief structures, my understanding of myself, and my understanding of the world around me. I repeat that phrase so much because it is the key. Spiritual awakening, engaging your higher spaces of consciousness, embodying your higher spaces of consciousness, shifting your reality, shifting your being, happens when you shift how you see you, who you say you are, who you believe you are, and how you live as that you. When you shift that, it shifts the way in which life interacts with you. You shift the way you believe about yourself and the world around you. And the world around you shifts as well. The body's designed masterfully to navigate spiritual awakening process. Are there some that are more sensitive as they're navigating? Yes, we've talked about that for a few minutes earlier. Are there things that you can do if you are an energy sensitive and you're navigating the awakening process, the ascension process? Yes, yes. There are many teachers, including myself, who offer classes, teachings, energy sessions. I have a lot of free content on my YouTube channel, the A.L. Garris YouTube channel, in which I actually offer energy videos for free. If you want to hire me, yes, I have a business, but I offer them for free. I have a Patreon platform where people pay a small amount to support and be grateful and have an energy exchange. And I offer even more over there as well. But we're talking audios. You can listen. You can listen to my light language, grounding frequencies, helping shift and move your energy. You can go to my YouTube channel and watch the Acasma grids. We have one once a month. It's a free space. You can come and join me on Zoom. You sign up on my website, you join the grid on the website, you're in. We are here to assist me, many on my team. I have a team of people who work with me. We're here to assist all those who are experiencing spiritual awakening in the ascension process. And energy sensitives find their way out of this feeling as if this intensity is beyond understanding, and they find their way into peace and balance. Yes. I teach Acasma quantum energy. It's a higher dimensional ascension modality. I have a book. I have 2 books about it. One is for like more of a self-session based space, and the other one's the course book. But it's to assist ascension. There are energy keys to assist ascension. You can meditate, you can draw them, you can just look upon them, you can write down in journals, whatever. They assist the consciousness. It's all energy. It's all energy. But we're learning how powerful it is to learn to work with our energy, guide our energy, direct our energy. Energy healing has been around for longer than anybody probably realizes. And we're moving into a space of humanity where we're more open to energy healing because we're realizing it's who we are. We are spaces of consciousness inside human vessels having nows. Yeah. You can work with crystals. There are so many crystals that help sensitives. Off the top of my head, amber is fantastic. I know it's not technically a crystal, but it's included in a lot of crystal stores as available with those. Also, you can work with shungite. That's fantastic for grounding as well, for energy sensitives. Obsidian, onyx. Yes, you can work with ceremony. A lot of people are really becoming more available and returning into actively working with sacred ceremony. I teach on this as well. But sacred ceremony, utilizing various items from the earth. And also I teach from a galactic shaman type space, if you will. I do Acasma galactic shaman teachings. So you're also not only working with the earth physical based items and the understanding of the directions and the elements of earth, but you're also working with, because you're a multidimensional, higher dimensional being who's having a human experience, you're working with higher consciousness, the higher heart, the higher mind, galactic connections as well, cosmic DNA as well. And so when you're working with sacred ceremony to assist ascension, it is very, very powerful tool to help the body navigate, process, and assimilate these higher energies that you're landing as you're moving through these spaces of yourself. Because that's really what's happening with spiritual awakening, is you're just moving from one space of understanding of who you are into another space of understanding of who you are. And those two spaces have different energies. They have different vibrations. They have different vantage points. And so when you leave one and you move into the next, you're growing, you're naturally evolving, but you're also changing, and your body's designed. That's a program that will really help, especially the energy sensitives, the empaths, the seers, the mediums. There's been a lot of programs sold to you, taught to you, embedded in you, in all of us, that say, you know, it's going to feel like this, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be daunting, and, you know, you're going to have this, that, and the other that you're going to have to deal with. And there are teachers and sites that, you know, feed off of this and the fear factor connected with this, so that they can get the clicks and the likes and the views and whatever, the followers. And I don't want to judge, but I really do want to help. I really do want to help. And I'm not negating what people are experiencing and what can be happening with spiritual awakening, but I want you to know there are options available. There is help available. There is assistance available. We have higher dimensional beings that work with us. We have spiritual connections that work with us. So many of you, this is going to be Palladians, Arcturians, Avians, Tarantians, Tall Ones, Andromedans, Sirians, Lyrans. This is going to be the Angelics. This is going to be Yeshua. This is going to be the Magdalens, the Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the connection points of various spiritual connections, Kuan Yin. But none of these were ever meant to take the place of, or the value of, you and the trust level you hold in your own divine capabilities and presence. And so something that's very, very important in the spiritual awakening process, if you do not want to spin your wheels and stay in a repetitive process of, yes, intense awakening symptoms, having a breath, intense awakening symptoms, having another breath, basically, what is it? Like lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. If you're done with that, because you want to actually truly awaken, you want to truly expand, this is available. This shift space is what you're landing. It's why you resonated with this. It's why you found this message here today. Yes. You're resetting yourself into a new level of you, and you're ready to do it. And you are available to the understanding and the knowing that you no longer have to see and understand yourself a certain way and identify yourself a certain way, to where you limit yourself from the next space of you. You're giving yourself more availability and more opportunity than ever before to truly awaken. Not reawaken to the space you've Groundhog Day, same space you've been for the last 5, 10, 15 years, but to truly awaken to a new way of being, a new way of understanding yourself and the world around you. So you can work with essential oils, you can work with herbal teas, you can work with a chiropractor, you can work with a masseuse, you can work with nature, walks in nature, sitting in nature. Always, everything you do, all of it should come from a sense of gratitude and joy that you get to do it. If it comes from, if I don't do it, then it's going to get worse. If I miss a day, you know, that obsessive type of thing that can happen, it's going to mess me up. If I miss a day, coming from, I get to go take a walk. And if you don't have time that one day or 2 days or whatever it is, so what? Do something else. Watch a comedy. That's helpful too. Laugh, dance. If you need medical help, this is another one that's really big for people. They don't realize it, but a lot of times the intensity of energies is because your hormones are out of whack, the chemistry in your body is imbalanced, and you can do as many energy sessions as you want. You can wear all the crystal jewelry and have the big crystals by, yourself in your home. You can use essential oils and drink your herbal teas. You can go to yoga. You can ride your bike. You can go in nature. You can do sound healing and frequency healing and acupuncture and qigong and all these things. You can be doing them. But if your chemical makeup is off, which is very common because of the way we've lived for so long with the depletion of the soils, and we're changing all of that. But we haven't lived in the new world long enough yet. Are you with me?
Yes.
So we need supplements, we need vitamins, we need minerals, we need these essential amino acids and spaces of our makeup in our bodies to be healthy and balanced. And for many of us, most of us are not balanced. And it's not a one and done. It's not a like, oh yeah, okay, well, I'll take my vitamins for 6 months and then, I'll get myself really good and then I won't feel energy so intensely anymore because I've covered all my bases. You have to continue to take care of yourself. Just like you're going to continue to need water, you're going to continue to need food, you're going to continue to need to breathe air. If you need magnesium, you're going to continue to need magnesium. It's not going to go away because you took it for a certain amount of time. People, I have clients all over the world. The ones that are doing well are the ones that are implementing all these things that I'm talking about. And they're doing this faithfully and they're not giving up on themselves when they start to feel better. Because that's what a lot of people do. They start to feel better and they stop taking the thyroid medicine that the doctor said they needed, or the thyroid supplement that and medicine is fine. If you need to take medicine, get off of this whole thing about beating each other up because somebody has to take medicine to be able to just heal it. Well, until they do, the medicine is helping them, so leave them alone. Yes. But taking the medications, taking the supplements, they matter. So many people, their hormones are out of whack. And so they are thinking and being sold by many in the spiritual community this concept that it's all energy. At the root of it, it's energy, but it has at some point moved into an actual physical space of the body. The biological, mental, emotional connections of the body are out of balance. And even if you fix the energy, a lot of times you still have stuff in the body that you have to go and take care of. I use this like illustration a lot. If you back your car out of the garage nice and slowly, but you hit the wall on your way out and you kind of scratch your car up, you can say to yourself, oh, well, I don't want to do that again. I realized that wasn't the best. So I'm not going to drive that way anymore. Okay, great. You're not going to make any more damage, but guess what? It doesn't make the damage you've already done disappear because you realized this. You have to go to the body shop and get the car fixed. So a lot of people need to get the car fixed, and they refuse to allow that to be a space of understanding, or they fight with themselves even. They are allowing it, but then they judge themselves for having to need a doctor or medicine. And no, I'm not a big component of drugs and doctors and all of that, but I do believe in good ones. And I do believe in the things that we have come up with that are helpful, and that we need to just use our discernment, and we need to be available to assist ourselves in the ways that we need to. So hormone levels, most people, they think, okay, well, if I'm not, a woman and I'm not in my 40s or 50s, then I don't need to worry about it. That's not true. I have teenage and young adult clients that have had severely out of whack hormones and needed a cream or a drop under the tongue or whatever. I suggest bioidentical. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not certified to give you this advice. I'm talking from personal experience, entertainment purposes only, please. But it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your sex. Hormones can be out of balance and out of whack for anyone at any time. And they also, stress levels cause this as well. And everybody knows that there's been a lot of fueling of the stress that everyone's experiencing, and that keeps everybody in that loop. So allowing the body to catch up as we're awakening, spiritual awakenings unfolding, energy shifting, the body knows what to do, but it also needs us to meet it halfway and give it our assistance to allow it to catch up. So we kept it in fight or flight for the majority of its existence, and now we want it to be peace, love, and joy. Well, it may need a little help. It may need a little time. It may need a little reassurance. It may need you to tell it, maybe every day, in a gentle way, you are safe. And you're talking to your body. You are safe. You are safe. I put my hands on my heart. You are safe. And I'm consoling, I'm loving, I'm nurturing my body to tell it it's safe. I have now arrived at I am safe, but I lived 40 some years of my life feeling like I wasn't, for all these different various reasons that are just fed to us. But if you don't know you're being fed it and you keep eating it, it's still being consumed. And then you have to deal with the aftermath of that consumption until you stop consuming it. And then you still get to clean up that which is happening because of that which was consumed. And this is part of spiritual awakening. This is part of the process of remembering who we are, of allowing that higher space of consciousness to land. And in doing so, we're healing fear. We're healing separation. We're healing spaces of judgment. We're healing spaces of these disconnects, these distortions. And we're rising into a new space of understanding of ourselves and of the world around us. Let your body catch up. Don't go into judgment mode wherever you fall on this thing, whether you are somebody who energies aren't affecting you at all or somebody who's on the ground going, what the? Don't judge. Just meet yourself right where you're at. Know you're surrounded by love. Tell yourself you're safe and loved. Lean into that space of connection. Those higher dimensional beings of light we work with, they're there. Your spiritual teams, they're there. It's all real. Realer than the world we see with our physical eyes. Because all of that is the eternal flow of consciousness. And what you see with your physical eyes is a temporal state of reality reflecting the eternal flow. Think about that sentence. Allow that understanding to expand inside your being, and we'll all be better for it. All right, I'm going to leave this for you here. I'm going to lay it at your feet. You do with it what you will. I have some really special spaces that I share with my community on my Patreon platform, a beautiful Acasma community that we built, and it's incredible. We have Discord servers where people share and grow in this understandings that I'm sharing here through the Acasma teachings. We have leaders of light over there working to assist, and there's just a lot being offered for anybody who resonates and feels in alignment with these teachings in this space. I'm going to be in Los Angeles coming up in 2026 in February at the LAX Hilton for the Conscious Life Expo. So I'll be doing a workshop there on cosmic DNA and the return, the remembrance of the spaces of ourselves that we are and that we're bringing into this now. I'd love to see you there. That would be fantastic. So check out the information. It's available on the Conscious Life Expo website. And I'm going to be doing lectures, 2 lectures and a workshop. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited about it. I have courses coming up. Rise of the Goddess course. I do not teach on the goddesses of human history, but I teach on the goddess that is within you. And that's going to be coming up in, registration opens in November of 2025. Course starts in December of 2025. We have AQE Foundations course coming back around. I teach it once a year, and it'll be coming in, I believe we're going to be doing that one in spring of 26. So we have a lot coming up, and my Sedona trip's coming up in just a few weeks. That's a sold-out event, but I am super excited for all of you who are going to be meeting me there. I'm really, really looking forward to it. It's an incredible, sacred, vast space of us, and I'm honored to be it with each and every one of you. So thank you for those who signed up for that space and will be engaging in that alignment with me. So however you're able to find your way into this flow, I'm honored to be that space with you. Any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. If you liked this particular teaching here, have a comment, a question, please share. And as we move forward, remember that you are safe, you are loved, surrounded by love, and you are remembering more and more of who you are. Blessings upon you, Holy One. Blessings.